For me, is embracing the moment. I'm a cameraman myself, so as you can see, 1 + 1 = 3, you know. In other words, bringing together two things that do not belong to each other in order to create a surge. That is creativity for me.
作る前と作った後で何か心境の変化ってありますか?
I mean, it was never planned to be such a complex project, but it's amazing how such a simple question leads to such a complex project. And when we showed the film now in Venice, Giorgio Rossetti from the Venice Film Festival, Giornato degli Autori, said, "Why are you creative? It's more than a movie." And he's right. It's a book, it's an exhibition, and it will be a very big campaign in the social media. Yeah, I know you have a proverb in Japan about the nails that stick out too much to get a good knocking, you know, so don't be afraid to stick out, just do it.
行きたかったけど行けなかった人、あるいはこの人は絶対に行きたかったという対象者いますか?
Yeah, well, I mean, as you know, I met Lady Gaga once through Angie Pontani backstage in Las Vegas briefly, and I wanted to set up an interview in Germany with her tour, but then the tour came to an end because of health problems. And I think Lady Gaga is an extremely extraordinary creative person, so I would very much like to talk to her about her creativity in the various creative disciplines, music, acting, performance art. I think she's terrific. All right, yeah. I mean, without a shadow of a doubt, David Bowie was the creative person I wanted to have in the cut, you know, because we knew each other a long time, and I think what we did with the interview, one of our interviews, which turned out to be the surreal one, me looking out of the window and David looking into the camera, that was certainly, how shall I say, an interesting interpretation of what Jean Genet once said in an interview by the BBC when the interview was there. He was there and he was saying, do we have to do the interview like this? Can't we stand on our heads and talk with our feet? That is and remains the vision of creativity for an interesting interview.
日本人の方にもいろいろとインタビューされてますが、日本人の天才の特徴みたいなのってありますか?
Well, what they have in common, I think their creativity is really fulfills that definition that I said before. You know, I am who I am, and I'm not afraid to be different. I'm not afraid to do something which really takes you by surprise, you know, which is a good thing. And I was very impressed with Yamamoto, also talking so openly and emotionally about the fate of the artist, that the artist does not have a choice, you know, in what he's doing. He cannot stop. It's like a non-stop train, he's saying, like a non-stop train, a train that never stops. And he said normal people don't have it, but artists have it. And it's not necessarily fun life, you know, it's not necessarily a road to happiness, as Isabel Coixet defined it. I mean, look at this. This is what Joshi did, and it's so made immaculate, you know, with attention to detail. It is amazing, you know. I stumbled over his design way back. I think in 1984. And I still have that shirt because such a great quality, you know. And the form and the shape, I can understand why the Victoria and Albert Museum in London did an exhibition about his design. It's unique and it's timeless. It stands the test of time, you know, and I'm a big fan.
日本の観客にメッセージをいただけますか?
I think that seeing this film, you know, could help making the viewer more creative. Why? I had question and answer in Europe with people, and it happened a lot that young art students were coming to me after the screening and they said, you know, I had a blockage with my creativity, and seeing that film, now it's gone away. Now I have a very clear vision of what I want to do, you know, and they thanked me for that, and I think that was very nice. I mean, in making a film that is, you know, all you want to achieve, and I hope that in Japan some of the people will, you know, have the same experience, and I'm sure they will.
This was to be my quest, condemned to walk the earth for the rest of my days, approaching complete strangers and asking them,
Why are you creative? Why are you creative, David?
It's a sort of an intellectual field of adventure.
It's just the way I can't do anything else.
Oh gosh, that's such a hard question to give like in 2 seconds before I walk into the thing. I think that's where it comes from.
Doing something or making something means you can't live without it.
I'm forced to be. Otherwise, I don't think I could bear life that much, actually.
La créativité, c'est l'espoir du monde.
Why are you creative, Mr. President?
Huh?